The point of trading to make money online is so you can have a life that you want to live on your own terms. Freedom. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I always say, like, don't live to trade, trade to live.
Yeah.
Start when we stop, we gon' get it done. Get it when we start, we gon' get it done. Start when we stop, we gon' get it done. Anthony's World.
What's up, everyone? I'm Anthony Williams. You know me as Anthony's World. We got the legend over here, Mr. Lambo Raul.
Or Raul, you know.
Raul, huh?
Shank.
Raul, Shank Raul. Oh, man. How you doing, bro?
Bro, good. I appreciate you for the invite out here.
Yeah.
Definitely made me fall in love with the state, bro. Because before I just thought it was, it's heat and desert, and that's it.
It's still hot.
But nah, but it's, it was definitely hot.
It's hot.
But no, I was really able to enjoy the scenery out here, bro, because it's completely different than what I'm used to in Miami. Felt good to get away. It's actually really more motivating.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I love it, man. It's super awesome. So I just let you know what this series is it's a little new series that I'm going to be doing for the Forex people, because everyone follows us obviously for Forex. So what I'm going to do is interview people over the computer or face-to-face, wherever they're at, all types of traders around the world. And then what I'd like to do is eventually one day get these people in a round table. So get 4 or 5 of these mentors, gurus, whatever you want to call them, in a roundtable series. We all have a bottle of wine. We drink. I want to fucking spread positivity because the industry has too much hate and negativity.
Yeah, definitely.
So we want to keep spreading this, but I also want to teach people and I want to inform people. I really don't know what I'm going to call it yet. So if you have any cool names, you got.
I'm not part of the creative
5 seconds.
director.
Come on, 5. Drop a name. 4, 3.
Fuck, I don't
2,
know, bro. I'm not part of the creative director board.
I counted ass backwards. I had 2, 1.
It was a shot.
Yeah, it was.
It's fine.
Tequila.
It's fine.
I love it. So, what got you started in trading, and how old were you?
Bro, I was like 17 at the time. I mean, there's like a few different ways, to be honest. Like, I don't feel like there's like one set in stone way where it's like, this is what it was. Because, I mean, I was in and out of the hospital, and I really wanted to join the military. But what ended up happening was a disease I got diagnosed with, which was Crohn's disease. It needs constant treatment. Literally monthly, I had to go every single month and take an IV. So I looked it up online. I was like, can I even join at this point with this disease? And said I couldn't. Then that's when I looked up different ways on how to make money online. I stumbled upon trading. Then another friend brought trading up, and I was like, okay, maybe this is something I should really be looking into.
Epic. That's epic.
I didn't really want to follow it.
I didn't know that you were diagnosed with that.
Yeah. I've had it for years now.
Really?
I didn't even know either, because I wanted to say it started maybe like around like 15 years old, and for 2 years the doctors didn't know what was going on. There was no diagnosis, nothing. I had undergone surgery. There was a point in time where my intestines were so inflamed that they even thought, okay, well, at this point in time, we should just cut off all of the inflamed pieces. Right. And I mean, so many different scenarios were brought up. It's like, okay, well, at some point, like if we just keep cutting and cutting and cutting, it's going to be a never ending cycle. Yeah. And it's going to be to a point where there's a lot of people like, I don't know if you've seen it online, but they actually have like an external bag, right, where it's connected directly to their intestine. That's basically where all of their bodily fluids, if that's how you want to put it, goes towards. And that was like a really scary point for me, because it's like, fuck, bro, like I'm
you don't want
15 years old, 16 years old. I don't want to be to the point where I'm have to literally have a bag carrying around, and it's just that's not what I wanted for myself. And to be honest, at that time I didn't really make any like crazy changes to my diet or anything to go forward. And I was taking, bro, so many different medications. I'm talking about like I had to take pills in the morning, in the midday, and at night, and it was like 7 pills here consistent of steroids, consistent of antibiotics, probiotics, a bunch of shit. And I was like literally every single day, 3 times a day, and it's like, bro, I'm popping like 30 pills in a day. It was ridiculous. Yeah. And then I kept getting more and more flare-ups. I went back to the hospital so many times. Then they put me on IV medication. Well, actually, no. Before the IV medication, then they moved my treatment over to a shot. I had to go to a doctor every single week, every single Wednesday, and actually get a shot. And because I missed 1 day on my shot, immediately right after that day, I went right back to the hospital, and the whole cycle started again. And then that's when they put me on a medication called Remicade, where I had to take an IV therapy, which was just antibiotics, and anti-inflammatory every single month. Once a month, couldn't miss it.
Do you still take it?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I was feeling like shit. It was the worst I've ever felt, right? And my intestines still felt like shit too. So it's like, bro, like, you know, I'm taking so much time, literally 4 or 5 hours out of my day to go get this IV therapy because it's like a slow drip IV. So like my day is done, and by the time I'm out of that IV, I just want to be in bed.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm wasting my entire day. I was weighing maybe like 120 pounds. I was literally like this, weighing 120 pounds. I was anemic. I was pale. When I mean pale, I was super pale. And I was like, bro, fuck this, bro. Like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Whatever happens is whatever happens. I don't want to live my life this way.
Yeah.
And then I changed up my diet a bit. I just tried cutting out basically all of the bullshit that I knew would irritate me, which would really just be spicy foods because I was in love with spicy food at the time. And eating fast food and shit. And I try not to eat fast food nowadays too much. And I don't want to say from like one day to another, it kind of just went away. But slowly over time, like I just stopped having so many frequent hospital visits. And then the doctors did a CT scan and an X-ray, and they did an endoscopy. And basically, like, I'll still have inflammation in my intestines here and there. But in the 3 portions of my intestinal tract that there was inflammation, they just found a bunch of scar tissue there. So the only concern that they had was like, okay, well, you know what? This could be a relevant problem in the future. Like, you know, you may want to actually consider surgery to just get rid of the scar tissue. But then it's like, yeah, sure, if I have the surgery, you could just pop up somewhere else. And then I don't want that cycle to start. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to live it how it is. Yeah. And honestly, since then, probably this was maybe like around the time I was 21, everything has just gotten like so much better. It kind of feels like I don't have anything. Yeah. But then there would be days like last night where I just was like, my stomach was just going crazy. My intestines were going crazy, and I was feeling like shit for like an hour. And I woke up this morning and just completely fine. I'll be fine for the next few days. Honestly, it really just comes down to stress levels and diet.
What you eat.
Is what it comes down to.
I'm a big believer in what you eat. Like, I'm sure you've seen all my videos on like eating like really healthy foods, and like I love that. So, man, well, I'm glad that you're feeling better, man. That's crazy. I've never heard that story. So that's going from that. That's
no, bro, it was
traumatic
horrible.
Experience, man.
It was horrible, bro. It's the worst pain I mean, I've gone through so many different physical pains. I mean, even being stabbed on my foot by an open glass bottle to the point where like I could look at the incision where the glass bottle stabbed me in the foot. I can open it and I can see my bone. It didn't even compare to that.
Really?
It didn't even compare to that. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Well, you're better now, man. Now you're out there shanking balls left and right, man.
Thank God.
Shanking balls left and right.
Little by little, I'm stopping the shanks.
I love that. So, you know, when it comes to trading, like, I noticed you've been golfing a lot lately, and I want to talk about this. Is golfing become like your stress reliever?
100%, bro.
Get your mind off of things.
100%.
Let you just focus on shaking balls and
100%.
Drinking a few beers 100%. With the boys.
The thing is, like, bro, like, you can't revolve your life around trading. You know what I mean? You can't, your sole existence can't be to get up in the morning to trade. What type of life is that? You know, there's no point in that. And a lot of people are like, bro, like, you know, I'm so anxious to get on my computer, and, you know, you take a loss and you want to make it back. It's like, bro, go get some fucking hobbies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the point of trading, exactly. Like, the point of trading is to make money online is so you can have a life that you want to live on your own terms. Freedom. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I always say, like, don't live to trade to live. Yeah, like that's 100%. A huge thing for me. It's like, so I believe that. So like, and you know what's crazy is you're talking about it, and all the people in the industry are like very, very much like they expect us to be robots almost. Isn't it wild? Like how the people that follow us expect us to be fucking robots and like on the charts and always perfect and like not like have any
taking no losses.
It's wild, man. It's like I hear it all the time, and I'm like I get to a point where I'm like, dude, like that's why I stopped like a lot of things that I was doing outside of it is because like they would be like, oh, you're not getting business, you're not doing business, you're only doing business because you're not trading and all this other bullshit. It's like, no, I'm just an entrepreneur that wants to do other 100%. Types of business and great stuff. And so like it's wild.
Honestly, like even when you have other businesses that are outside of trading, it just makes your trading so much easier in the sense because you're not solely relying off of that trading income. Like imagine living a life where you're only relying off of your income from trading. You'd probably have gray hairs. You'd probably be balding. Hey, just crazy.
2 seconds real quick. Can you confirm this is the jet list of people for your jet? This is important.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right, we're good. Your jet's confirmed. Told you, man. Once you fly private, you never go back.
Bro, you've opened me to a new world of setting new standards.
So I also want to talk about like other businesses outside of just trading, and how has that helped you with your trading, and what are you looking forward to doing as well in the future? Because you're an entrepreneur, man. Like yes. we've hung out a few times, but never like this. Like we've never gotten this like personable to be able to hang out, and it's been really cool to experience that with the whole crew, with your whole crew. It's been super fucking awesome to actually see that like how y'all operate a lot. And I see y'all are a close niche, and I like that because that's what we are too. And so I'm excited to see where you keep going because you're so young still. And I mean, I'm a little bit older, but nothing crazy. Q's a lot older than me. He's the old one. Q's the old one. He's about as old as Stanley.
Yeah.
We had to bring him some WD-40 for his knees
for
on
sure.
the golf course.
He died. He was like a solar panel on the first day we went out to the course, just soaking up all the heat around him.
It was hilarious, but actually we were kind of worried. Like it was funny at first, and we actually got worried.
I was concerned for the old man.
Yeah. Man, we didn't know if we were gonna have Stanley anymore.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
But so like, how has the other businesses helped you? And are you like continuing to learn these other types of businesses, and are you continuing to grow with them? And what do you think the future holds for the Forex industry in this other space?
I mean, it really depends. I mean, when it comes to like the businesses and helping me in my trading, it just takes all of the pressure off of my trading. It's not forcing me to have to like rely on my trading to pay for anything. Like, to be honest, like my trading income nowadays, whatever I do end up making at the end of each week, at the end of each month, it is. It's just, it's either fuck around money or money that I used to go invest. It's not money that, okay, I need to pay this bill. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? I got a hospital bill. I got to pay for it here. It's just, okay, hey, you know what? I just made 180 grand this week. I'm going to go buy a watch. Yeah. And it's just like last year, it's literally fuck around money, bro. For AB's birthday last year, I ended up making 100 grand shorting. I think it was either the NASDAQ or SPX. It's like, bro, fuck it. I'm going to withdraw $30,000 and I went and bought him a watch. It's literally just fuck around money, bro. Hey,
that's epic. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got, I mean, like, and that's what, you traded at first. Like I always say, like I traded heavy in order to make money to invest. And now the investments pay me to where I don't have to trade.
100%.
Even if I don't want to trade.
And I'm trading way less nowadays too, but I find like the trades are a lot higher quality regardless of my profitability. Oh, yeah. I'm super picky on the types of risks that I do take. But when I do take those risks, I'm going in, a lot heavier of a position.
And it's kind of funny, I try to talk about this a lot is because like people are like, oh, you don't use proper risk management. It's like, hell no, I don't. Sometimes, like I have accounts that I do, but I don't always need to use proper risk management because like I'm okay depositing $250,000 in an account and losing 50 grand.
I think it all depends on just the R multiple. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna deposit $250,000 in an account and you're risking 50 grand to make 25, that to me that doesn't make sense. But if you're trying to shoot for like 100, 150, then I'm like, okay, go for it. If you're okay with losing those 50 grand, that's ultimately you're the individual that is okay with taking that risk. Mm-hmm. And if the other people that are looking at that and they're like, hey, you know what, I'm not okay with taking that risk, I think you're using shitty risk management, they just haven't gotten to the point where they're okay with losing 50 grand.
And that's like the biggest lesson that I have learned inside of the Forex space is that, and inside of this is that there's so many different ways to make money in this, and there's no right way. There's no right way. That's I would say the biggest lesson that I've learned is like when I first started trading, like I was like, oh, this person's got to figure it out. He's got the way. Oh, this person's got to figure it out. He has the way. Oh, he has the way. Oh, he has the way. Or she has the way. Then I realized like, no, they all have their own way and it all works. 100%. And so like I have a video that I talked about. I said, if you're learning Forex, you should hire every mentor. Like you should go until you find the one that you actually make money with. Yeah. And like people were like, what? Like, why would you tell us to hire all these other mentors? It's like, because I went through like phases where I learned all types of different types of trading, different styles. And they all like 5 of them didn't work for me. And then I found one that did. So like there is those different phases of life and trading. Like how you trade might not work for me, but how, I don't know who's someone on YouTube. I don't know. Anyway. Someone else on YouTube trades might work for me, and like that's okay. You know what I mean? So like everyone thinks that like this is the pressure that we've had on us. I think
no right way to actually trade. There's so many different ways to make money trading, and I feel like that's like the beautiful part about what trading actually is, because at the end of the day, you have to find the trading system, strategy, money management system that works for you. There's traders that look at negative R multiples and say, you know what, nobody can be profitable with that. But then there's just one kid on Instagram who has like a 0.9 R multiple, and you look at his MyFX book, and the kid's turned 150 grand into $900,000 within the last 2 years. It's like, okay, well, that works for him. Fantastic for him. Personally, that would never work for me. But you know what? It just shows you that there's no one right way to actually trade.
And at the end of the day, the goal is one thing: to make money.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you do it, what you're doing. The goal is to make money.
I think people try and put like this picture perfect, I guess, idea or have like a certain ideology of what trading actually looks like, and they're trying to like paint everything to be super perfect in such an imperfect industry.
Yeah. Sorry, working on your jet still.
Yeah, that's fine.
Trying to make sure you get out of here. Trying to make sure you get out of here tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that. So, what is your, if you don't mind, like, what is your biggest winning day? What's your biggest losing day?
I don't think I've ever had I've had like a big losing day, but it was like a combination of 3 days. My biggest winning day was like 220,000 on gold. When actually, it's funny enough, we were actually coming back from Vegas. I ended up making $220,000 on gold shorts, which I ended up taking the position before we got on the plane, and then I ended up closing after. And I had like this anxiety in between because the plane didn't have Wi-Fi and I couldn't check on the position. So it was like,
Either you blow the account or you make a lot of money.
Nah, to me it was. Okay, that's a different story in itself. But to me, it was best case scenario.
I
you know,
hear the story.
Worst case scenario to me, because I was already in profit like 60, 70 grand. I was like, okay, well, if price comes all the way down on my take profit, which I look at take profit and probabilities, which it was a great probability, obviously, or also when I've taken the position, I'm going to make maybe around $250,000, right? Worst case scenario, I'm going to get stopped out and lose 30 grand. But I mean, it was like a half R multiple for me to get stopped out. So it was like, oh, fuck, you know, like my heart was beating. It's like, okay, well, let's just see what happens. You know, I'm leaving it in God's hands now.
Yeah.
And then we get to the plane and it's like, bro, I'm at 220,000. My take profit was set for like 262,000. And I'm like, bro, fuck this. I'm closing, bro. Like, this was fantastic. I make back half the money I spent in Vegas. And then on top of that, we literally dropped off the luggage at my house. I withdrew all the profit and I went and I bought, what was it, the 812 or the F8? It was one of the two. Yeah. It was one of the two. And I went and I bought a new Ferrari.
Speaking of cars.
Oh my God, bro. I've had such a
How much is your insurance? That's really what I want to know. Because when I had all my cars, man, my insurance was, it wasn't that bad, but still, like,
so
damn.
The majority of my cars were all on a family plan, right? And I just turned 25.
And they don't, cause you don't drive it all. You don't put that many miles on all of them. So you
I don't. So they're all on a family plan. So like for the SVJ, it's like $500.
Oh, that's
right?
not bad.
For the Urus, it's $300. That's kind of the median. It's in between $300 to $500. I mean, for my wife's G-Wagon, it's super cheap. It's $200. But then we were having a problem with the insurance, adding my new Cullinan onto the family plan, and I had to go and I went and I got my own plan. It was like $1,500 a month for my Cullinan. Yeah. But and the main problem was the sticker was just so high. The insurance company was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You checked off every single box. I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's awesome though, man. How many cars do you got now?
Oh man, I think 5.
You got way more than that.
I've had a lot. I've definitely had a lot. I've probably owned every single car in the book. But you know what? Like at some point, it's like you can only drive so many cars at once. You know, to me now, it's kind of just like a collection.
What's your one?
It's really in between the SVJ and the Cullinan, to be honest with you. Because there's days where I look at the SVJ and I'm like, bro, I'm not even thinking about driving you. Like, my back is killing me. Right. And there's other days where I'm driving the Cullinan and I'm like, damn, this is so boring. I want to drive the SVJ.
I drove,
so I can't really pick.
I drove the SVJ through the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, I saw.
And it was fun. Amazing. Bucket list of mine. Dude, my lower back was fried. I was feeling like Stanley.
I know. You know what's funny, bro?
I was feeling like Stanley on the golf course.
Like, when I was a lot younger, like 21, 22, I was like, yeah, bro, I could daily a supercar probably for the rest of my life. Now that I'm 25, bro, and I've gone through different accidents, and kids, and bad sleepless nights, I'm like, bro, fuck that, bro. I'm driving this like once a week.
Yeah. No, I love that. So, another question is, where do you see this Forex industry heading? Do you see it growing? Do you see it? Because, I mean, obviously, we just had the whole My Forex funds
with the CFTC.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
You see all the other regulations coming in, crypto scams popping up, which is crazy. So regulation's obviously going to get harder.
Yeah.
Where do you see this industry going?
I feel like it's still going to grow because a lot of people nowadays, I feel like they don't have the money to just, here's $25,000 into a TD Ameritrade account. I'm going to go trade options. You know, you're going to fall under the PDT rule. So for me, like, the two avenues that are going to grow the most is going to be futures, Forex, and crypto trading. I know a lot of people are still trading like options and stuff. I don't think that's ever going to go away. Yeah. But I don't see the Forex industry potentially slowing down. I just feel like maybe regulators are just going to come in and be a lot more strict, and they're going to be making an example out of a lot of these companies like they did with my Forex funds. You know, which that's a whole other situation in its own. And to be honest, I just kind of more feel for the people because my Forex funds was paying out.
I've said this many times.
They paid
I
out
agree.
over $100 million this year alone.
Yeah.
So it's not like they weren't paying out. And there's people that have gotten 6-figure payouts from my Forex funds.
That
It's
had
like
accounts.
if FTMO were to get shut down, I had gotten tens of thousands of dollars in payouts from FTMO. And, I've had a single 6-figure payout from FTMO too. If they were to go and get shut down, I'm not going to call them a scam. I've gotten paid out.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because there's people there, for sure, my Forex funds that were waiting for their $20,000, $30,000 payout, maybe even,
Isn't that
even
crazy
higher
too?
than that. And it's not their fault right now because all of their assets are seized. I feel for those people.
I said the same thing. Okay, do I get do I feel like they were probably doing some stuff they maybe shouldn't have been doing? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. But at the same time, the government comes in and they say, we're doing this to protect the people. You just took away $50 million to average Americans. You took it away from them.
Yeah.
They were averaging over $50 million a year in payouts.
That's what it was.
And you took that away from average people that were trying to change their life.
Yeah.
And they were trying to change what they do and how they do things. And now that's gone.
I mean, bro, imagine the amount of people that were actually funded, not for nothing, like anywhere between $100,000 to $600,000.
Think about people that quit their jobs and they've been trading with them for 6 months and have been funded. And now they quit their job and now they're all of a sudden screwed.
That's what I'm saying. And to me, it wasn't a case of oh, you know what? My Forex funds was an absolute fraud. It was a complete scam. And the government came in and shut down. You know what I'm saying? To me, it was just a case of oh shit, the government looked at this. So it was yo, this company's making $300 million in the last 2 years. Where's our cut?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel that. So it's sad. It's sad to see. Sad.
100%.
So, but I'm glad you think that because I do too, man. I really do think the industry is going to keep growing and keep booming. And
there's going to be more companies that come out that are going to be more innovative at the end of the day. And, a lot of different companies. I feel like if you don't adapt, you're going to get left behind, And
that's the way we've always thought that way too, growing. What's something that you're most excited for, like a goal wise to hit? And in trading
in
related.
Terms of trading, right now my trading, I'm kind of just trading as it is. I'm not really setting too crazy goals. What I really want to do now is just start getting more into different types of cash flow, such as real estate, building other businesses. Like my trading right now, I've got 2 different accounts. They have over $250,000 and a little bit over $250,000 each. Whatever I make, if I feel like I want to withdraw, then I'll just withdraw. Just like paying for the private jet, and that's it. I don't really have specific trading goals right now because I just really want to build other sources of cash flow and just really reinvest a lot of the money that I have actually made.
Love that. And that's what you're supposed to do. I always say keep building businesses that can pay you long term.
100%.
I've invested into life insurance policies, stock markets, and they don't pay much, but it's better to invest in there. It's better than sitting in my bank account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money just sitting in the bank account. So keep investing,
100%.
man. That's what I would say.
100%.
That's what I'd say. And then if you could, I know I'm supposed to do this on a computer, but we'll get that stuff from you later. Could you break down your number one trade setup?
Oof. It depends because I have 2 setups for breakouts and I have 2 setups that are more or less supply and demand.
Okay.
Setups. I would say probably my favorite setup when it comes to trading is what I would call a bounce play, which is really when I'm looking for momentum to slow down towards an area of supply or towards an area of demand that is also congruent with the trend. So if the trend is bullish and we're starting to see a pullback to an area of previous support, momentum is starting to slow down, then I already know that's my first indication of looking for a potential bounce play for the trend to continue. Then if I know it's I have an if and then thought process behind every single trade. It's okay, well, if momentum continues to slow down, we get the right price action signals, then I'll look to go long with my stop loss here, my take profits over here. But if price action doesn't slow down, it's momentum towards whatever side I'm looking at, and it actually continues to go lower than that area of support or higher than that area of resistance, then I'll look for a retest and rejection setup. So everything is planned before it even happens. And if price action gives me the setup that I already have planned, then that's when I'll actually take the position. But there's a lot of times where it may not actually happen. Price action may get very close to my area of supply and demand, and it just completely takes off in the opposite direction. And I may sound, it's okay, great. I don't care.
Love that. Love that.
Setup.
What's your biggest success student?
I have a few. I think my most recent one, which was this year, his name is Cedric. So he is actually a college student where I believe from the podcast that we did with him, he wanted to get into the MBA and stuff. and he's a college student, and he was actually funded on my Forex funds. Would you look at that? And he ended up making $70,000 in a month, and he got paid out his profit split, which he ended up making like a total net profit of $55,000. I mean, imagine making $55,000 in a month as a college student.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
anyone.
amazing.
That's crazy.
You know, and it's just amazing to see, because at the end of the day, he invested the money that he did into me because he saw the value in the content and the education, the mentorship that I provide, which it's not necessarily a small investment. You know, I don't charge $200-$300 for a course, because I know that you look at my past students, you could see their results, you look at my results, and there's real value behind my product. So he made that investment. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to invest this $1,500 into this guy. And I did my best to show him the ways on essentially how to make money in trading. And he was able to leverage that, which a lot of people don't even take advantage of that. So, you know, I put my part and he put his part. More importantly, you know, I don't want people thinking like it's just easy. You know, you come on, you take a course, and you're making 50 grand a month. That's not the case. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice that I'm sure that he made, because I've made those same sacrifices as well to be able to make that money. And then on top of that, like the mental stability that you need to be able to see those fluctuations in P&L. You know, imagine like not being like a super high net worth individual, right? And like that funded account is, call it a lot of the money what you have, and you're seeing like tens of thousands of dollars in fluctuation. So I feel like he did a very good job executing on that. That was my most recent success story. I mean, I've had like 2-3 other students. My like educational platform has been out for 2 years, and we've had 3 students already quit their 9-to-5 jobs, which to me, that's a success. And they weren't trading for 5 years. They were only trading for like a year and a half. To me, that's a massive success so far.
I love that. So like I'm big into like I'm a big like, not competition in like a bad way, but I'm always like, you know, me and Q have this ongoing battle right now. Me and Q have this battle of who's gonna hit $1 million in a day. So do you think if someone gets a payout of $55,000, should they stay with their funded, or should they move their funds to a personal account?
No, they got to reinvest it into a personal account. Because to me, the goal with the funded companies, because you can never know what happens, just like what happened with my Forex funds, you get your money, say you get paid out 100 grand, right? You hit the jackpot, let's call it. You get paid out 100 grand, because it's not easy. I mean, you're talking about, what's your max daily loss? 5%. Imagine making a 6-figure return in 5% daily loss. You grab half of that profit, you go reinvest it into a personal account, if not more. I mean, everyone's situation is different. And then with the other half, you know, save it, invest it, savings, whatever the case might be. But for sure, a minimum of half the profit you make you should reinvest into your own personal trading account, and then simultaneously trade both at the same time, and just keep funneling money into your personal account.
So that's what I always tell people too. I also am curious to, like, I get asked this question, and I'm sure you do. What do you think the steps are if you are a profitable trader to being able to quit your job?
I mean, definitely, for sure. Like, I mean, everyone's situation is going to be very different, you know. To me, the first things first, I don't think you should quit your job right off of the bat, because you're just going to be losing income. Right? So before you decide to take on trading full time, you definitely want to find some source of income that isn't from trading in specific to replace that 9-to-5 income. So then you could still have that cash flow and then not have the pressure of worrying about your bills being solely covered by your trading account. You know? So to me, the steps would be, go open up another source of income that'll replace that. And then that's when you can maybe take the step. It's like, okay, you know what? I've got this source of income taking care of my bills. Now I can focus on my trading and then continue to grow my trading account while also building my net worth through my trading account as well.
Love that. So I always tell people this. I always tell people that you should, number one, be able to make double your income from your daily job. You should do that for a minimum of 3 months in a row. If you do double your income that you make from your job 3 months in a row, and you have saved up 6 months of bills.
Reserves.
That's like 6 months of bills, high number, that's your reserves. And then you're making for at least 3 months in a row double your job. Then I'm like, you need to start entertaining that. You need to start entertaining that.
Because at the end of the day, if you never actually entertain it, you're never actually going to take that action.
Exactly. And then, you know, you need to talk to yourself and your personal situation and see where you're at, what you feel, and how you're going to go with that.
I feel like the reserves is also something super important too. I mean, the more money you have in the reserve, the more peace of mind that you're going to have. The less stress you're going to have.
I love that. And I don't know if this, have you noticed the shift in the industry lately? More people are coming together, and it's not so much competition. It's like good. Like I feel like I've seen a lot of people change over the years, and I feel like it could be just our niche, because we are all getting older.
I feel like
Have you seen it? Like I have seen it.
I have to a degree.
And there's always gonna be shitty shit.
Yeah. You know,
You
it's
know?
funny. There's a lot of egotistical people in a market where you're supposed to completely remove ego, which is quite interesting for me to see sometimes. But I mean, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is just people are getting older. I mean, some people, you see them climb to the top and then fall very quickly, and that's something that also humbles me as well, to remain on my 2 feet and not go too crazy with certain things, because I don't want to be putting myself and my family through that. And also, I've also grown as a person. You know, I'm married, I have kids now. So when it comes to, like, I guess the social media space and trading, there's a lot of new people coming in, and there's a lot of people who are also evolving and adapting and changing as well. But honestly, like, as long as the trading industry could be more helpful towards each other, instead of it being like super toxic, like, no, this is the way to trade, you don't actually make money trading, that's what I feel like is ultimately more important. But at the end of the day, like, you'll see comments on anybody's Instagram page like, oh, this guy doesn't trade, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like, the person that is focused on another person and is talking about them negatively, at the end of the day, it's just a low quality person. They're really not going to get anywhere from my experience. Exactly. They're not going to get anywhere from my experience, right? Instead of somebody else coming, because imagine a group of people like coming together to ultimately just build, network, and focus on how we can all do better, versus a group of people coming together and being like, you know what? Let's talk about other people. Where's the quality and the value?
And even like I come to my friends with investments outside of Forex. Like, let's talk about investments outside of Forex. Let's build each other up. Let's grow. Like, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
For sure.
So I love that. Well, let's keep doing it. Do you mind if when you get back, we do another little like 15-minute segment with you on a computer?
Yeah, let's do
so
it.
you can show some charts.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I really want to focus on showing charts in this little series that I'm doing. I just want to focus on sharing charts and having some fun with that. And then like I want to get the round table going too.
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to get like six people like from different spaces and all how we've had different experiences.
Yeah, let's do it.
And just bring people together.
Let's do that. I think
Man,
that'd be amazing.
I love it.
You know I'm coming back soon.
Yeah, I know. So real quick on this camera right here, this camera right here, or this one. Just kidding. This one. Number one, tell people where they can find you.
Okay. I mean, you guys can find me on Instagram, Lambo Raul, YouTube, Lambo Raul as well. I don't have Twitter. I don't have TikTok. It's just literally Instagram and YouTube, Lambo Raul.
Love that. And then I ask this every time, every podcast I do, because I interview nothing but amazing, special, talented, crazy, badass people. Can you leave the audience in one sentence a tip of advice?
A tip of advice. I mean, it depends. Revolved around trading or revolved around anything
Whatever
in
you
general?
want it to be.
Honestly, I've heard one day from a wise man, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account, as long as you're doing what makes you happy. That's the ultimate goal.
Love that.
Wise man named Anthony Williams.
Hey, I appreciate that. I'm not that wise. Ish. I'm pretty wise sometimes. I love that. Well, guys, thank you for watching. This is the new series. Super pumped for it. We're going to be interviewing a ton of badass traders. I'm going to be interviewing actually all types of traders, people that aren't even necessarily profitable, people that might have just got funded. I'm just going to be interviewing all types of traders in all walks of life. So we want to make sure that we are pushing this out there. So please share, turn that notification bell on, and make sure you're subscribed, and let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Peace.
It's fire.
Start when we stop, we gon' get it done.